Set the flip camera. All right. Hello, hello. Come on in. 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 Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, live viewers. Welcome, replay viewers. Now, my text is like sideways on the screen. I see Lynn Golston. Hi, Mona. Hi. This is my first scope in a long time. So come on in. Thank you. Please share with your viewers. Swipe up if you are on Android and swipe to the right if you are on iOS. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to be sharing tonight how I found my voice and got a new brand. So for those of you who are following me on Life Coach Ramona Jones, please start following me on my new handle, Ramona Speaks 2. That's capital R-A-M-O-N-A, capital S-P-E-A-K-S, and the number 2. Ramona Speaks 2. So for a while, I will do a broadcast on both handles, but eventually I will only broadcast on Ramona Speaks at the number 2. So this is going to be a quick scope. Don't want to hold you too long, but getting back into the practice of scoping. So why am I here? Well, I'm here because I'm moving into a new space in my life. I had to find my voice after 2 completions in my life. I'm in the middle of one of those completions, and that completion is of my marriage after 25 years. The second completion that I'm walking through is a displacement from my job. So from October of 2015, I was dealing with the completion of my marriage, which I'm still dealing with that now. And then in February of 2016, I got the news that my role was no longer needed. So I was at a point in my life where a lot of things were coming to completion, and I had to answer some hard questions. So how did I find my voice, and what does voice mean? Well, to me, voice means your purpose. It's finding your purpose, what you were really created to do and be, and to show up at your most authentic, at the highest expression of who you are, in such a powerful, inspirational way that other people see you and are inspired by you to find their own voice and to come out of hiding. Many times we hide who we are. We hide behind the successes of yesterday, of yesteryears. And right now, you may be in a role that you've been in for the last 15 years, as I was in my role. And you had done the job so well. You could do it in your sleep, but you knew that you weren't being stretched. You knew that you were bored where you were. You knew that you weren't growing, but yet you held on to that space because you were good at it and you knew about that space. And so I'm saying you have been through a lot. Yes, Lynn. So I'm sorry, the text is like sideways on the phone, so I can't really read all the texts, but I'll try to keep up with you. So thank you for that. And so pretty much you may also be in a relationship or marriage that that you know that you haven't been getting the support that you've needed for a long time. And it's been a dead space. And because of your values, because of your character, because of your tenacity, you've been holding on to it and trying to make it work. So the way that you find your voice is to switch your perspective. It's to look at things a different way. And especially when things come to a completion before you even wanted it to. Before you even had the opportunity to say what you wanted. Somebody came and told you that it was over, that it was done. So if you're in that space, give me a 1. Give me a 1. Type in 1. Let me know that you're with me there. Or you can tap on the screen and give me some hearts and let me know that you're with me. So pretty much I was told that I want a divorce. I was told that your role was no longer needed. But the thing about it is as I came to this place of completion, I had been knowing for a long time that I wasn't supposed to be treated unfavorably in either place. I was not supposed to be underappreciated or undervalued in either one of those situations, and I had been looking for better. So instead of seeing it as, oh, woe me, or what am I going to do now? Although it was, what am I going to do now? But it's like, oh, wow, I have an opportunity now to create the life I've always wanted. So what is that thing that I've always wanted to do? And so I've been on this journey, especially since January, because I'm telling you, I'm also finishing up a capstone for my Master of Arts degree in Leadership and Organizational Development. And the stress of all of these things that I've been dealing with has really taken its toll. I'm just getting over pneumonia, so my immune system has taken a hit. So when you're coming to a place of completion, there's a lot of stress to deal with. There's a lot of reflection, a lot of soul searching, a lot of things that you're going to have to deal with in this place. So in this valley, thank you so much, in this valley of a shift, I look at it as you're coming out of trouble into a twilight on your way to your breakthrough. So if you're there, give me some taps, give me some love taps, and let me know that you're there with me. So when you're in this place, it's a very difficult time that you're going to need support. You're going to need people to surround you and to gather themselves with you. You're going to have to really come to a time of prayer, a time of focus, and a time of reflection, because the enemy is going to play with your mind. Your body is going to be stressing. You're going to be dealing with a lot of things. So I'm here to tell you that you can make it. I'm out of trouble, but I'm still in that twilight. I'm in that valley leading up into my breakthrough, and I'm breaking through, and I'm finding myself. And how I found myself was through writing. That was my gift. That was my calling, along with helping people to find themselves, to speak their voice, to speak that thing that was locked up inside of them. Those were things that I've done all my life. So I had to go back and look over my life and find those things that I've always done. And so, drum roll, are you ready? I have a big announcement to make. The reason why you saw in the subject that I have a new brand, which is Ramona Speaks Too, is because now Ramona is speaking. Because I found my voice, I'm speaking, and I'm sharing my success, my strategies for coming out with the world. So I just wrote a new book, and it's being edited, and it's going through that whole process, but it's going to launch in the ebook format on Wednesday, May the 18th. And you get a free copy of my ebook in that window, 1 p.m. CST on Wednesday, May the 18th. And the title of the book is Your Legacy Voice, Prelude to Your Breakthrough. The prelude to your breakthrough. Your legacy voice, the prelude to your breakthrough. I share a little bit about my story, a little bit about my background, the making of Ramona, the making of a voice. And then I share with you why it's so important for you to find your voice and some tips on how you can find your voice. So I am very excited about the work that I'm doing, and writing is so therapeutic. It has so many benefits for your health when you take the time to write and to journal your thoughts. Even if you don't feel like that you're a writer, we all have stories. I remember a time when I worked as a tutor at East St. Louis, at a community college in East St. Louis. It's SIU. It's a community college under SIUE in East St. Louis, Illinois. And I worked as a tutor in the writing lab because I've always been a great writer and I've always practiced my craft. So a young lady came in and she was sitting there balling up paper after paper after paper. And so I just sat down next to her and I said, can I help you with something? And she said, I'm supposed to write this story, but I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write. And so I said, well, what is your story supposed to be about? She said, it's about a time in my childhood. And so I said, well, tell me about it. And so I sat there and I listened to her and she told me about the swing, and she was on the swing and her brother kept pushing her and the swing kept going higher and higher and she was getting more scared and more nervous and she was telling him to stop, but he kept pushing because he thought she was having fun because she was screaming, but she was screaming because she was actually afraid. And then she was so afraid that she just jumped off the swing and then she hit the ground. And I said, you just told your story. You may not feel like you're a writer, but you're a storyteller. You have a story. All you needed was somebody just to listen and to pull it out of you. So I told her, just write what you just told me. And I said, and don't worry about your punctuation. Don't worry about editing it. Just write it as you saw it. And she wrote it as she saw it. And then we went through and we did the editing of it. And I saw her years later. I was in the bank and she was with her mom and she said, Mom, that's that lady that helped me write my story. So that was a very exciting moment in my life, helping people to tell their stories. I have other stories where I've helped people starting from grade school. I remember when I first got my poetic ear, we started learning poetry, limericks, and haikus. And when I first learned about poetry, it was like all of a sudden my ears opened and I began to hear poetry. I would be on my way between classes and I would hear lines of a poem. I would be trying to go to sleep at night and I would be hearing lines of poems. I would wake up to a poem, or I would be out in nature and feeling a cool breeze and would just close my eyes and allow the breeze to hit me, and then words of poetry of that experience just flowed out of me. So I understood that I was a poet when I was introduced to poetry. And I had other students who would ask me to write them a love note to a boy, to ask him to be their boyfriend. And so I would write the little crazy notes, and I'm sure you remember those notes, the ones that had the little checkbox that said, do you like me, yes or no? And so I took those little times of just helping people write their heart, in grade school. And then even as an adult, I've had people come to me and they wanted to give a poem to someone for a wedding. And I just kind of helped them craft, so we co-created together. So I am a co-creator with you. As a life coach, I help you co-create your life. I help you pull out of you what's already in you. You already have everything that you need. It's already in you. You just need somebody to listen to you, to create that safe space for you to be you. And I want you to be for you. Stop hiding. Stop hiding at your mediocrity. Stop hiding at jobs that are not part of your destiny. Stop hiding in relationships that no longer serve you. I'm not telling you to get divorced or anything like that, but I'm just saying find you. Don't lose you. Don't lose you along the way. And especially in times of trouble, somebody else seems to show up in you that you didn't know was there before. I've had that happen. When you're angry, when you're hurt, when you've been rejected, when you've been wounded, this other person, this protective person, this mean person, or whoever that person is will show up in your life. You have to know how to get you back. And that's part of my destiny, part of my purpose, is to help you get you back. So I'm still working on my book, still working on me as I go through this journey. I want you to follow me. You can follow me on Facebook. If you swipe up or swipe to the left, you can follow a link to my Facebook page and start following me there. I'm a labor in progress, a labor of love in progress, and so it's all coming together. So kind of bear with me as I begin to build things out and put things together. But I wanted to start back scoping, and you'll see more of me. I'm going to try to keep this 9 o'clock hour every night to come in and just to share with you, to add value to you, to encourage you on the journey. And I hope you will start following me. And you can swipe up and see, or you can follow me on Facebook. You can notice, like, if you are watching me from the life coach Ramona Jones, please follow me on Ramona Speaks Too from going forward. Like I said, I will try to dual scope on both handles for a while, but I will be switching over to just the Ramona Speaks probably after my book launch. But I'm trying to make sure that I keep it on Life Coach Ramona Jones so that all of my followers there won't miss it. So probably for a good another month, I'll be scoping on both handles. So please follow me. Please keep track with me and keep up with me. I hope you get my new book. And if you do get my new book and get a chance to get it for free, hopefully between that hour that I'm going to make it available for free, please read it and go on Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon.com. So I'm going to set up an event page on my Facebook page. And I'm going to make sure that I tweet it out and put it on all of my social media for people who are following me so that you'll have the link to download your free copy. But please go out and give me a review. Read my book and let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I want to share in this journey with you. And it's important to me to know what you're thinking, what sparked something in you, what opened up something in you, what thoughts came to your mind. You know, what did you like about my book? What didn't you like about my book? I want your feedback. I want to talk with you. I want to be in community with you. So I love you. I thank you for joining with me today and giving me a little bit of your time. So until tomorrow, I want you to remember not to lose yourself in the shift. Find yourself. Stop hiding. Thank you so much. Love you. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you for joining me.